start, I want to say hello. I'm Spooky Andrew, and I've been thinking about doing this for some time now. I wanted a way not only to have another creative outlet, but to also have a way for me to develop my writing and storytelling skills. One thing I've always been fascinated by is our capacity for storytelling as a species. We're not the only species on Earth for the capacity of storytelling, but we are the only species that have the capabilities of written narrative. I spend a lot of time listening, watching, and learning from all sorts of amazing people in my life, but also from an endless stream of consciousness and personas on the internet. This isn't necessarily my attempt at monkey see, monkey do, but if you give a monkey a banana, you can guess the outcome. Let's talk about introductions. I'm really indifferent to my introduction to you. To my understanding, introductions are what you make of them. Not everyone is going to perceive something the same tone, feeling, or intent. But I want to talk about what an introduction is. I'm sure that will in no way impact the introduction I just gave to you, because I'm writing and learning what makes an introduction as I go. And I'll continue to reflect on my introduction to you as we go through this topic. Introductions tend to fall into three categories. The action of introducing something. This could be a thing newly brought into use or introduced to a place for the first time. A formal presentation of one person to another in which each is told the other's name, possibly the most common form of introduction that we are familiar with. And finally, the last form of introduction is a preliminary to something else, like an explanatory beginning of a book, report, or speech, or simply a first of something. This would be your introduction to blank. Let's talk about our first form of introduction. What is introducing? This to me brings to mind the introduction of an invasive species to the region, similar to the introduction of AI to our interconnected digital environment. This is the concept of introducing something new to an already established environment. This isn't always a negative form of introduction. This form of introduction could be something that's positive, such as the introduction of clean drinking water to a community, or the introduction of civil rights to an oppressed group of peoples. My introduction to you may be not akin to the introduction of human rights, but some could view it as the introduction of an invasive species to their habitat, since I somehow popped up in your algorithm, but I don't think that's exactly what my introduction to you is. The second form of introduction is from one person to another. Often what follows after the meeting of two people. In this form, introductions are typically to share key details about who you are. These details could be your name, your role, or title, your background, or your interests. Alternatively, in this day and age, these key details could be your physical appearance if through an online format. For example, imagine knowing everything about a person, their name, what they do for work, their favorite food, but have no idea what they look like. It begs the question of what does it mean to be fully introduced? When do our introductions end? I think this question has been my favorite part of the script thus far, but I don't think this is what my introduction to you is. My introduction is purely one-sided, and because of this, I don't think we've been fully introduced. The final form of introduction is that of a first time experiencing something, your introduction to something, whether an experience, a concept, or a sensation. This is often referred to as a first impression, the explanatory section at the beginning of a book or speech, or a preliminary section in a piece of music, often referred to as an intro. I believe that introductions of this matter often fall into two categories, incredibly exciting or anxiety-inducing. I'll leave it to you to guess which I'm feeling. It's a bit of both. More often than not, I relate these types of introductions to that of excitement. I really enjoy going outside of my comfort zone and trying something new, although I will admit there is something about this that feels like I'm being vulnerable. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but a new experience, or rather an introduction to the sensation. I think introductions are important in all forms. We as a society require introductions to keep from stagnation, loneliness, and often boredom. Thinking back to the question asked before, when does one person's introduction end? I don't think our introductions ever end. They just evolve. Thank you for sitting through this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I've learned a lot while making this video, and I'm already looking forward to making the next one. If you want to see other projects I'm involved with, you can check out the Some Assembly Required podcast, where we talk about all our recent hyperfixations from Warhammer to Magic the Gathering, and ways to build and nurture the local scene. You can also find me on Elder Dragon Jank, our new YouTube channel where we play Magic the Gathering badly. See you all next time.